continuing with Module 2 Waveguide Components and its application. Previous session we had seen coupling probe and coupling loop. These are the ways how we can couple a coaxial cable with an waveguide. Let's continue today with the waveguide impedance matching elements here. Whenever there is a need for the impedance matching, here we'll be going to make use of two different ways here, which can be done by a fixed or adjustable projections from the walls of the waveguide here. In case of a fixed projections from the walls of the waveguide, three variants are present here. The first one is inductive windows, the second one is capacitive windows, the third one is resonant windows. Moving with the first one, that is inductive windows. See, in this figure, this is a waveguide. This is a waveguide. The dimension of this waveguide, we know that it is A, that is the breadth is A and width is B, and the width is B. In both the cases, we are having the dimensions of the waveguide as A and B. For this waveguide, we have inserted two projections from the side walls in the figure A. In the figure A, we have placed two projections here from the side walls. In the figure B, we have placed only one projection from the side wall here. The width of this projection overall, whether you take in the figure A or in the figure B, it's simply W here. In the first figure is symmetrical type. The first figure is symmetrical type inductive window. The first figure is symmetrical type inductive window here, because from both the walls, side walls, conducting diaphragms have been inserted here. Moving to the second figure here, we have placed only one window from any one side. It has been inserted here. And coming to this here, this is called as asymmetric type. This is called as an asymmetric type here. These are the two ways how we can create an inductive window here. Conducting diaphragms extending into a waveguide from the side walls as shown in the figure A and B have the effect if the thickness of the diaphragm is small in comparison to the wavelength here. Inductive susceptance is added across the waveguide at the point where these diaphragms have been placed. Such an element here is called as inductive window. The amount of normalized susceptance added by this inductive window is a function of window insertion distance W. In window insertion distance W here. Okay? W. What is this W? We'll see here. This is window insertion. It is window insertion distance here. See in the figure A, I have two diaphragms from either side. Each is having a width of W by 2 here. The overall width will be simply W here. If I am subtracting rectangular breadth, that is A, with this W here, that is nothing but window insertion distance. The leftover part here will be simply the D. D here is called as aperture width. Aperture is nothing but a small hole, yes or not, some small hole or a gap here. That is nothing but the aperture here. This aperture width is nothing but A by W. In both the cases here, the window insertion distance is simply W here. Now I have said that normalized susceptance is a function of window window insertion here. Now let's plot a graph here. On x-axis I am taking W by A. On y-axis I am taking B by Y naught cross A by lambda G. A by lambda G. Y naught is reciprocal of waveguide characteristics impedance. A is wavelength breadth. Lambda G is waveguide wavelength. W is window insertion distance. A is once again the breadth of waveguide here. If I am plotting the graph here, the graph would be a parabolic increase. As the value of width is going to be increased, the value of normalized susceptance will be also increasing parabolically here in this way. This is how it will be seen here. This plot is further in a figure B. If I am going to plot further in a figure A, the value would be not that much larger here. It will be a little bit less here. This is further in a symmetrical type, and the next one is further in an asymmetrical type. The plot is showing how the normalized susceptance is a function of window insertion here. Now, whenever I am making a choice whether to go for a symmetrical or the asymmetrical type of inductive window, I need to take some care here. It's better to go for the symmetrical type only, because whenever I am going further in a mechanical considerations such as how to machine and how to install the pressuring windows, that would be a much more important case. Based upon this mechanical considerations, we will be selecting either the symmetrical type or the asymmetrical type. The second type is capacitive windows. In this case also, we are having the symmetrical type and the asymmetrical type here. Now, in the previous case, the diaphragms were inserted from the side walls, but in this case, the diaphragms are inserted from the top and the bottom part of the waveguide here. The figure is showing you clearly how these diaphragms are inserted from the top and the bottom planes of the waveguide. In case of a symmetrical type, we are having the two conductors from the either planes here. But whereas in case of an asymmetrical type, only one diaphragm is placed from either from the top or from the bottom. In this case, it is placed from the top plane of the waveguide here. Conducting diaphragms extending into a rectangular waveguide from the top and the bottom walls, as shown in the figure, produce the effect of capacitive susceptance shunted across the waveguide at that particular point where the diaphragms have been placed. They are therefore called as capacitive windows. Here also we can have a plot. The plot is to show how a normalized susceptance is plotted as a function of a window insertion. On the x-axis I am having W by B. On y-axis I am having B by Y naught lambda G by 4B. Here it is also a parabolic. This is also a parabolic increase here, and this is further in a symmetrical type of capacitive window. Symmetrical type of capacitive window. Capacitive windows are not used extensively because as the power is transmitted by the waveguide, there is a chance for the reduction of this power, because the voltage breakdown will be seen across the window because of this capacitive windows. When compared with the inductive windows, capacitive windows are not much preferred, because this may lead to decrease in the power as the wave is propagating in the waveguide. The reason for this decrease is because of voltage breakdown across the waveguide. Moving ahead with the last one is resonant windows. A conducting diaphragm is shown in the figure here. Is going to give you a parallel RC, parallel LC. Parallel LC is going to be shown here across the guide at this particular point. Now this diaphragm is called as a resonant window. If you are going to see carefully here, see, I am having a diaphragm from the side walls and also from the top and the bottom walls of the waveguide. The side walls will be acting like an inductive window. The top and the bottom diaphragms will be acting like a capacitive window. That is, a resonant window is a combination of two windows, that is inductive window and capacitive window. But all the four diaphragms what I have placed should be always at the same point here. In this case, we can even attain zero susceptance value at a chosen frequency with a wide variety of the diaphragm's shapes. If the dimension of A dash and B dash are properly related here. Now we can conclude here. Today we have seen waveguide impedance matching elements. We are having the three types. The first one is inductive window. How you are going to create an inductive window? We are just adding the diaphragms from the side walls. The diaphragms are from the side walls. The next one is capacitive window here. In this case, the diaphragms are added from the top and the bottom plane. And the last one is resonant window. In this case, the diaphragms are added from all the four walls. The first one is the inductive window, where the diaphragms you are placing. Diaphragms are placed from side walls of the waveguide. In the second case, we are placing from the top and the bottom walls. Here. In the last one, we are placing from the side walls and also from top and the bottom walls. Why we are using these windows? These windows are used for impedance matching purpose.